If anyone ships the Darkling and Alina after this, you're crazy. You're crazy. Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to try and read all of the Shadow and Bone books in one day. I was actually not planning on filming another reading vlog until after my exams are done because I'm very busy with studying. However, last week my university's platform got hacked, which means that all of my and my fellow students and professors' data got stolen, which basically means that I cannot study because I cannot access any of the material. So I thought right now is the perfect opportunity to get some reading in. Hopefully the university will have fixed this by Monday, which means that I'll only have one day to read the entire Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is what we're going to try today. I got all 3 books from the library, so support your local libraries. I'm going to start, of course, with Shadow and Bone, then Siege and Storm, and hopefully end today with Ruin and Rising. These books are not that big. I think they're about 300 pages each, so I feel like it should be doable, but we're going to see. If the story really drags, then it's going to be a difficult challenge. I got up early this morning to start with Shadow and Bone, and I'm now about 150 pages in, which means I'm already almost halfway through. I'm having a great time so far. So I have never read the Shadow and Bone series before. I didn't know what it was about until I watched the first couple episodes from the Netflix series Shadow and Bone. I've watched up until episode 4, I think, which I think covers the whole plot of book 1. At least the series version of it. So I think I know everything that's going to happen in book 1, but I don't know anything that's going to happen in book 2 or 3, so that is all new to me. Everything that I've read so far I have already seen in this series, and it's very interesting to see the different approach the series took to the story. They of course also included the Six of Crows characters, which are not in these books, unfortunately. I think this book does a way better job of introducing the world and the magic system than Six of Crows does. So I think if you want to get started in this universe, you should start with Shadow and Bone. I think I am going to include spoilers in this video because I think most of you guys have either read the books or seen the series. If you haven't, you really should. I do understand if it's been a long time since you've read these books because I think this one came out in like 2012. So I will quickly summarize what the plot is about and what I've read so far. So you have the normal people and then you have the magicians who are called grisha, and there are different levels of grisha based on their abilities. So there's this one summoner who can summon darkness or shadows, and he is called the Darkling. Great name. He has created this fold, they call it, which is just this complete area, strip of darkness, which is a very dangerous area. There are monsters and it's very dangerous to cross, and it basically cuts a country completely in half, which has effect on the people, on the trade, on the economy. A lot of people want it gone. This version of the Darkling is currently working for the king, and they're working in an army and trying to protect their part of the country, and he's trying to find a solution for the fold. That's what he's saying. Yeah, I know the spoiler that he is not looking to get rid of the fold, but up until now, he is saying that he is. Then we also have our main character, Alina, who always thought that she was not a grisha, she was just an ordinary girl, but then she turns out to be the chosen one, and she is this very special type of grisha, which is also very unique. She is a sun summoner. So basically she can summon light, she can summon the sun, and people think that she is going to be the solution to solving the fold and saving the world, basically. It's definitely the trope of the chosen one, which can go one of two ways. You either really like the main character, for example with Harry Potter, or you can really hate the main character, and then the books are very tough to read. Up until now, I don't mind Alina. I think she's cool. I think she's a little bit helpless, but it makes sense that she would feel this way right now in the book. I hope she gets a little bit more confident and stronger, but right now she's very helpless, but it makes sense, right? I don't really expect anything else from her right now. So I'm liking Alina. I think she's a great main character so far, and I think that's very important because once Alina gets annoying, this whole series is not gonna go well. But right now I'm liking Alina, so I have high hopes. I cannot say that I don't like the Darkling, but the Darkling is the classic bad guy, but he's kind of hot character. And Alina already has someone that she's kind of in love with, so they're setting up this love triangle, which I'm liking, I'm enjoying, but it's also a little bit cringe sometimes, in my opinion. Alina has just joined the Darkling and his army at the Little Palace, and she is getting ready to train to be a grisha, because currently she doesn't have any control over her power. She can only summon the light when she has an amplifier, like the Darkling. So we're now getting to the training montage, and hopefully she will have learned a thing or two after that. So that is my opinion so far. I am liking Alina. I think the Darkling is a character for sure. Just the way Leigh Bardugo writes him, it's kind of like a fanfic at this moment, because of course the twist hasn't happened yet that he is actually evil. It's really like, he smiled at me. But I of course already know, because of the series, that he is not like that at all. I think the plot is very fast-paced. I'm flying through this book, which makes me really happy and optimistic that I'm going to read all of them today. So I'm going to continue reading Shadow and Bone. I'll probably see you when I finish this, and we're going to start Siege and Storm. Hi, I've now finished reading Shadow and Bone, and I really enjoyed it actually. I thought it was really fun, really enjoyable. It was so fast-paced, really. It was really fast-paced, especially compared to the series. Like the first episode is just based on the first 30 pages, so it's really fast-paced, and I just really enjoyed it. This book basically covered what I had seen in the series, maybe except the ending, but most of it was not new to me because I had already seen it. But the other books are completely new to me, so I'm interested to see where the story is going to go. I actually think it's made way clearer in the book what the Darkling's motivations actually are, what he needs Alina for. I feel like when I watched the series, it wasn't really clear to me why he didn't just kill Alina, because it felt like, to me, like the sun was the opposite of the darkness. So if he got rid of Alina, he would have total power, but he actually needs Alina for something, and that wasn't really clear to me in the series. But now that I've read the book, it's clear to me. He needs Alina because the monsters, the Volcra in the fold, are also hostile towards him, and they cannot stand the sun. So he needs Alina to get rid of the monsters so then he can expand the fold and take control of the whole country. That being said, the ending is really slow. The whole book is very fast paced, but then it slows down so much at the end. I hope that's not going to continue for the next 2 books. So those are my quick thoughts on Shadow and Bone. Quick summary, it's basically the chosen one trope with a love triangle, which is of course not groundbreaking, it's not anything new, but it's really fun nonetheless, right? I think a great part of me enjoying this is because I can visualize the characters. I already have an actor connected with the character, so I can kind of imagine it in my head. That sounds really weird when I say it like that, but I already have a face to picture with it, right? I know from myself that I would normally not really like a character like the Darkling. I would think that he is a little too invincible, too obvious of a villain. Like, he doesn't really seem to have any reasoning for why he is evil right now. Maybe we'll get some backstory in the next books, but I usually don't really like such a character. However, I do know that he's played by Ben Barnes, which makes up for a lot of my enjoyment. I think the Darkling at this point is a much more developed character than Mal is, who is the other love interest for Alina. Mal at this point is just so bland. I don't know anything about him. All I know is that he loves Alina and that he's a great tracker, but I don't know what that means. He seems to have some kind of power or invincibility because he is almost killed so many times, but he survives every time. So I feel like he has some kind of superpower that makes him survive. Otherwise, he just has a lot of plot armor, which is kind of ridiculous at this point. Other than him having so much plot armor and loving our main character, there's not much I know about him, which makes him very hard to root for right now. At the end of Shadow and Bone, Alina does end up with Mal. They're together, they have escaped the Darkling, but it's really hard to root for them. Alina really needs to develop as a main character as well. I really hope she gets some kind of character development, character arc. She has already had some, of course. She has learned to use her powers, and now at the end of the book she has also learned to do the cut, which is an ability that only, I believe, the Darkling can do. So she already has a lot of character development in terms of her power, but I really hope she gets more character development as her personality. She seemed to have a lot of character development because she kind of rejected Mal and her whole childhood and her trauma that came with that. But ever since Mal came back, that whole thing is back and she didn't really reject it at all. I'm liking her so far. I also really like the actress that plays her in the series. So again, it's kind of a benefit that I've already seen her in action, because I can now picture her, and I think that really helps with my enjoyment. If you were to pitch to me the chosen one trope with a love triangle, I would not think that I was going to enjoy it, but I really enjoyed Shadow and Bone, so I'm going to give this 4 stars. Now I'm going to move on to the second book, which is Siege and Storm. Alina is currently fleeing from the fold and her life as the Sun Summoner with Mal. I'm not sure how long that is going to last. They're kind of contemplating whether the Darkling is dead. I don't think he is. So I'll start reading now. And yeah, this book is a little bit longer than the first one. It's about 400 pages. So let's just start reading and see how far I'll come. It took her 14 pages to get captured again by the Darkling. 14 pages of freedom. Wow, that is not a lot. And now we're back to Shadow and Bone. We're back to Shadow and Bone. Alina is captured again, and the Darkling is using Mal to get to her. At least it promises that it's going to be fast-paced again, because she did not waste any pages to get captured again, so at least it's fast-paced, but we're back at the beginning. Okay, I've read until chapter 8, but I'll be back later and I'll read more of Seige and Storm. I'm actually just realizing something. The animals on the cover are the amplifiers for Alina. So in the first book we have the stag, then the second book we have the water dragon, and then here we have the phoenix, or the firebird as they call it. They actually got the water dragon really quickly in the second book, so I was thinking she was gonna get the phoenix as well, but I think not. If the phoenix is the cover of the third book, she's gonna get probably that amplifier in the third book. So they already got the amplifier in this book. It's already attached to her body, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen in the rest of the book, but I'll find out later. Now I need to go. I'll probably read some more later. Yeah, we're going pretty steady. I'm reading a lot. I think it's also very helpful that I'm enjoying the story, otherwise I would not be able to read so much. I'm definitely not going to be able to finish all 3 books today, but if I aim to finish this one tonight, then I'll probably finish Rune and Rising tomorrow. I'm having a lot of fun. The story is very fun and enjoyable, and yeah, I'm having a great time, so I'll see you later. Hi, it's the next day. It's a very gloomy day today, so I'm sorry if the lighting is bad, but today we're going to finish the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I'm really excited. This morning I finished reading Seige and Storm, so the second book is already done. I also started reading Rune and Rising already because it's more than 300 pages, so I needed to get a start on that to be able to finish it today, but it's looking pretty good, so let's talk about Seige and Storm. It was fun. It was definitely fun. I don't think it's as good as the first book, unfortunately. I fear we kind of lost the plot when we introduced a third love interest for Alina. Like, when is it enough, girl? This is too much. I mean, I enjoy reading about her relationships, but just everything else about the plot has just gone into the background. The whole war and dangers are just secondary to her romantic relationships. So that's definitely a choice. I thought a love triangle was already enough. I don't even know what you would call it. A love square. We of course have her childhood best friend Mal. Then we have the Darkling, who's kind of her Grisha counterpart. And now we also have a prince. Nikolai Lantsov has been introduced in the second book. He is a privateer. He's kind of a prince in hiding because he's not the first prince, so he's not the first to earn the throne. He is a very important character in this story, and yeah, I really like him. I think he is very likable in general. There's nothing really about him that's bad or questionable, so I think he's made to be very likable. He's very charismatic, he's very fun, but I just don't see the relationship happening. He's very charming and funny by himself, but there's just not really a connection with Alina. I mean, they have like the same goal, so it's introduced as kind of a fake relationship because they need to be presented as a couple for the country. So yeah, the book has kind of just become about Alina and her relationships and who she's gonna end up with, and her power and the war and all the political problems are kind of just background by now. So let's talk about that. Who is she gonna end up with? I suspect that it's gonna be Mal, or actually I hope it's gonna be Mal, because I just feel like she has the best connection and the best relationship with Mal. He's the only one who knows her for who she is and who has known her before she turned out to be the most powerful Grisha. Mal definitely deserves to be endgame, in my opinion. I just feel like the Darkling and Nikolai both use her in their strategy. She's like a tool to them. They don't really know her. She has a lot of chemistry with both the Darkling and Nikolai because they are just very charismatic and fun, but they are not really a good relationship. I mean, none of the relationships are good. There was also this one thing that he said that was like, when we marry, I'm gonna have to move Mal away so that when we get children, I'm sure they're not Mal's but mine, which was a crazy thing to say, especially when they were at war and they were literally in the trenches. But her relationship with Mal is also quite problematic because Mal deserves better. Mal, I don't know what he's doing. There's gotta be a reason for why he's doing this, but he is just chasing Alina for no reason. It's really sad. Mal should just find a hobby. Mal should just move on and go do something else with his life, because him chasing Alina it's just heartbreaking to see, especially when she's treating him this way. I think it would also be a very cool ending if Alina just survived by herself, because all of the books have been about her relationships, that she ends up choosing herself and to have no relationship at all. However, I don't think that's going to happen because Alina seems very dependent on her relationship. So it would be a major 180 in her character to become independent. So I definitely think she's going to end up with someone, or she's going to end up dead, either one of those. So yeah, the series is just, it's mostly for fun. It's not that serious. I get it. So I really think she's going to end up with Mal, or I hope so, because she just has the best connection with Mal. And I think she also has a really good chemistry with the Darkling, but the Darkling is going to have to end up dead at the end of this book, or at the end of the series, because he's the main antagonist. So for the world's problems to be solved, he needs to be dead, unfortunately. So I don't think she's going to end up with him, of course. And then Nikolai just kind of got introduced in this book, and he's just not endgame. He's just not. However, I really like him. I really like his character, but he's not going to end up with Alina, I think. So what I think is going to happen is she's either going to die or she is going to end up with Mal. They've been hinting at a lot of things throughout these books. One of the main things that they keep saying is that Grisha power needs to be kept in check, and with Alina collecting all of these amplifiers, it's very dangerous and she's very likely to become the next antagonist of this world. So she's collecting all this power to try and defeat the Darkling, but as soon as Darkling, her only competition, is dead, she's gonna become the new Darkling, the Sunling, if you will. It would be a very cool twist if she ends up becoming the antagonist, but I don't think that's going to happen because there are no other books in this series. I feel like the series would continue then to kind of follow Alina. And I believe Six of Crows is set after these books, so I think there would be mention of this new antagonist, Alina, which there isn't. So I don't think she's going to end up the antagonist. Might mean that she dies. I'm not sure. I hope not. But they've been saying how dangerous it is to get all these amplifiers and to have so much power. In order for her to not become the new villain, she either needs to die or she needs to lose her power in some way. If she loses her power, I think she really can end up with Mal, because the problem right now with her and Mal is that Mal is just an ordinary guy and she's this eternal Grisha. So they're not really on the same level anymore, which they were when they were children. It's become a very uneven relationship. So in order for her to end up with Mal, she's going to have to lose her power, because this is just going to be problematic otherwise. Those are my predictions. I think I'm going to give this 3 stars. It was fun. I had a great time reading it. I flew through this book, really liked some of the characters. It just kind of continues the plot of book 1, so it doesn't really start a new plot. Now, as I said, I've started reading Ruin and Rising as well. I really hope there's going to be some good twists or something in this, because otherwise I feel like the plot is really dragging. The beginning is very boring, I have to say. It's not a good start. But in the second book, it picked up very quickly and it got chaotic and fun very quickly. So I'm hoping for that again. So I'm going to continue reading Ruin and Rising. Hopefully I can finish reading it today, and then I will have finished reading all the Shadow and Bone books, and I can give you my final opinion and rating on all of them. So let's see how this book is gonna end. Okay, any hope for the Darkling and Alina is gone. I will strip away all that you know, all that you love, until you have no shelter but me. This is toxic relationships' final boss. If anyone ships the Darkling and Alina after this, you're crazy. You're crazy. Mal is like the Darkling's cousin. Oh my god. They're joking about it. They're saying like, if Alina has to kill you, she may go completely crazy and she'll have the 3 amplifiers, so there's no stopping her. They're like joking about it, but isn't that a real issue? Isn't that a real issue that Alina will become the next villain? This is what is messing me up. This is what giving me a little bit of whiplash. Is that one page, literally the previous page, they're talking about how people are literally hung from trees. And the next page, they're joking about Alina killing everyone. And they're saying, like, at least consider the plan. If it all goes wrong, Alina gets a new bracelet, meaning that she kills Mal and Mal becomes her new amplifier. But, like, how can you joke about that? Hi, it's now evening and I have finished reading Ruin and Rising, which means I've finished reading all the 3 books in the Shadow and Bone series. Let me grab them. Here are all 3 of them. I finished reading Shadow and Bone yesterday, Siege and Storm this morning, and Ruin and Rising just now. So we've read all 3 books in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Let's talk about Ruin and Rising. This morning I was really hoping that this book was going to have some plot twists, which it definitely did. It had a lot of things that I did not see coming, so I really enjoyed that. Some of them made a little bit more sense than others. I'm not entirely sure on some of the lore of this book. It kind of ended like I had predicted / hoped. She lost her powers. I don't know how. I also don't know how Mal survived. Don't ask me to explain anything, but I liked it. I liked the ending. The twist that Mal was the 3rd amplifier that Alina needed was crazy. I felt really bad for everyone because they had been searching for this for weeks or months, and Mal just was with them the whole time. Then the twist that Mal is family of the Darkling was just crazy. I don't think anyone could have predicted that. The ending sequence is kind of a blur to me right now. I don't really know what happened. At some point I'm gonna have to come back and revisit that, but right now I have read so many pages with these characters that I'm a little bit done with them. I really enjoyed my time reading this, but yeah, I would not recommend to do it in 1 day or 2 days because it's a lot of pages and a lot of romance drama. I was really shocked when the Darkling kills all the people in Karamzin. That I think I got it on camera, my reaction. I was really shocked. You could not root for the Darkling after that. But at the ending, when he dies, they still try to make him look kind of human and kind of redeem him, which, I mean, after that sequence, it was impossible. I think that summarizes this book very well. It has a lot of emotional whiplash, where one page has something incredibly cruel and then the next page they joke about it. I think I'm satisfied with the ending. Maybe I'm just also really happy that I'm done. That could be it as well. I think the first book is just the best, so I'm gonna give that one 4 stars, and then the other 2 kind of drag on the plot. They're still a lot of fun, otherwise I would have rated them lower, but they're just not as good as the first book, so the 2nd and the 3rd book get 3 stars from me. I think it's a very fun fantasy romance series, and I'm really happy that I read it, but it's just not as good as 6 of Crows. And I think that's the overall consensus in the fandom, that the Shadow and Bone trilogy is fun, but it's not as well written and good as 6 of Crows. And after reading it, I agree. Hopefully, after I read Crooked Kingdom, I can watch the show on Netflix and I won't be spoiled. I'm not sure what they changed in the show. I'm very excited to see Nikolai introduced. I do believe that he is included. I mean, kind of has to be such a big character in the books that I'm very excited to see him portrayed as well. I think it really helped that I already had actors in mind when I went into the books. I already had a face to picture. I think that really made it more enjoyable for me. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they adapted these books into the series. Next week I have to go back to studying, so unfortunately my reading will be on pause, but we got a lot of reading done this weekend, so I'm really happy about that. I would not recommend you do this. I don't think I'm gonna do it again anytime soon because it's not really a fun way to read a series. You read so much in such a short amount of time. You have no time to process it, and you kind of get fed up with these characters at some point. So I would not recommend you do this, but hopefully it was a fun video. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what videos you would like to see me make next. And I will see you in the next video.